everybody, BeyondDrewTV here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another episode here of Dino World. So we're going to go ahead and pick up where we left off last time from Dino World here, where we're kind of building right off of the entrance plaza area. So yeah, if you missed the last episode, we went ahead and, like I said, built out the main entrance plaza area and got a parking lot started and just a whole bunch of fun stuff there. So be sure to catch up with that if you haven't already there. So yeah, like I said, we're starting right off to the left-hand side. If you're looking at the entrance plaza, kind of starting off to the left-hand side here, and we're going to be doing a oh man, I always butcher these. The Triceratops looking dinosaurs there. Again, if you're newer to the channel and you're wondering if I'm like a dino nerd and like all that kind of like really into dinosaurs, like I think dinosaurs are really cool, and that's about where my nerddom stops with dinosaurs. Like I didn't even know that they were considered to have like feathers until like the last little bit kind of thing. So yeah, I am not up to date with the names, the history, the biology, all that kind of fun stuff. I think dinos are cool. I like learning about them, but as far as like pronouncing the names right and knowing anything about them, not the right channel for that. So I'm just gonna let you all know right off the bat, I am more of a, I love the way that Stan Wolf has put it before. He's like, I'm not into animals, I'm not into dinos or whatever, but I am into themed entertainment, and that's basically where I'm at. If there's a game out or what have you that has a pretty good builder there and it is a themed around kind of themed entertainment building and stuff like that, whether it be like theme parks or dinosaur parks, zoos, whatever like that, sign me up, because I usually like to build in those things. But whether or not I actually know anything about them, well, that's a whole nother thing. But that's why I have you lovely folks to kind of teach me how to say that one and the Styracosaurus, right? I got that one down, so I have almost all of them except for the Nasutoceratops thing one. That's the one that gets me every time. I even tried to practice saying it, I just totally forgot how to say it. But anyway, so yeah, we like I said, we are building a big old habitat for both of those species there. And the plan is, so yeah, we were kind of talking about this on stream because technically I've already built a habitat for all of the animals in the game right now. Because again, if you don't know, we only have the 6 animals. 5 of them are the regular like habitat, like dinosaur animals, and then one of them is the Microraptor, which goes in the mini exhibit there. So technically, quote unquote, we've used all of the animals already in this in Dino World. But like some people have noted, like you can go ahead and do the T-Rex with a different skin palette or whatever, and it's technically a different kind of like T-Rex or something like that. Or you can like maybe do the, like I said, like the Styracosaurus and have that one have its own like separate habitat. So we'll totally do stuff like that. We can maybe do some implied habitats too. I've been hearing rumblings of people making their own dinosaurs already. If you're newer to these kind of games, like the Planet series and Prehistoric Kingdom and stuff, don't be surprised if you start to see people making their own custom dinosaurs in the meantime out of the pieces that we have in game. That was a big thing in the Planet series games, that especially Planet Zoo, where people were just like, I really want the insert animal here. We don't have it. We have a bunch of art shapes in the game, so I'm gonna make it myself. It's gonna be an implied animal. They don't move around or anything. They're built out of the modular build pieces in the game. But yeah, there's already been people kind of talking like that. They're like, what? I think I'm gonna make a Velociraptor out of the wall pieces in the game. I was like, you do you, boo boo, because that sounds amazing, and I will. Oh well, we can't use it because we don't have a workshop quite yet. But eventually when we do, I believe they have mentioned we're gonna get a workshop in the game. But yeah, eventually when they do, they can save those type of builds and stuff like that, and we can bring them into our own parks there and stuff. So you can see that people are yearning for some more content already, just a weekend after it, and it's not a complaint or anything. People are just so enthralled with the game that people are already kind of like, myself included, like, this alpha is amazing and I'm having such a good time, but maybe we can get just like a little bit more stuff, because I'm selfish and I need some more for my excitement there. But again, that's just kind of a testament to how great this alpha is so far and how much basically everyone is enjoying themselves. So, but yeah, talking about the actual habitat here, nothing too special quite yet. We do get into some viewing areas and building some little shaders and stuff like that later on in the build. For the most part, starting off though, pretty simple, just a lot of rock work, kind of framing everything in. I guess the only little bit that I didn't explain that's a little bit different is you saw me kind of draw a road between, or kind of like a back road kind of area between the two what do you call them, the like gene places or whatever, basically what I'm kind of using as the paddocks right now, where the dinosaurs quote unquote come out. So those two, I kind of thought it'd be kind of neat to draw a little road between the two of them, and I was totally thinking of Jurassic Park, where they basically all the like back roads in the movie Jurassic Park are. It seemed to be all in like in the jungle and stuff. You know, it's not like built up like, oh, here's an asphalt road for you to drive down. It's always like, you know, when it just always seems like all the roads were in these like back road, like dirt kind of roads, and you know, if it happened to rain or anything, it'd be really hard to drive in. You know, so all that kind of fun stuff. So I thought it'd be neat to start to do that with our paddocks there, which are also temporary. Started to replace out a lot of the paddocks for kind of custom built ones, and we're going to get into those episodes later on when we start to build a Lambiosaur. Did I pronounce that one right? A Lambo exhibit there. We start to build our own custom paddocks instead of using the in-game ones, and that's kind of the plan overall, is kind of go back through and for a lot of the things, except for maybe the clothing apparel store and stuff, but start to really build up some custom paddocks, some custom backstage, started to build some custom like shelters and stuff like that, or like a medical bay. That was really fun. Yesterday in stream, we really started to get into the nitty-gritty of messing with really teeny tiny objects. Again, you know, obviously there's this scalability in the game that we normally have. You see me doing it there with the rocks and plants and stuff, but we've stumbled upon that you can actually go beyond the default scalability in the game, because there is a min and max when you kind of are scaling. But we found out that if you duplicate something, basically you can, or if you advance duplicate it, you can keep expanding it or keep minimizing it infinitely, essentially. So we made a giant wall that was the size of the entire park before, and also on the flip side, speaking of the Lambo exhibit and stuff like that, I made a little medical bay where the keepers, quote unquote, could come up and check out the Lambos, and I built a little desk for them. And on the desk, I built a computer monitor using the in-game items, built a keyboard, built a pencil holder with pencils in it using rope and a metal beam shrunk way down. So there, it looks like there's pencils and pens in it. But anyway, we'll get to that episode. That is going to come out in a time lapse there. Again, we did it on our live stream yesterday, and if you haven't caught one of the live streams, again, we're live just about every single day at 2 p.m. Eastern there on the channel here. But yeah, we were doing that live there on the channel. Just it's amazing the capabilities that you can get there. Again, we literally built like a wastebasket, a cup holder for like pens and pencils, and a coffee mug out of the same glass piece over and over again, just different sizes. And yeah, again, used ropes and metal beams as pens and pencils. It turned out so cool. So but anyways, yeah, that's just kind of you know, really exciting things as we're moving forward there. So but yeah, with the rest of this habitat there, I think we're going to start to, in just a little bit here, start to move on to the first little viewing area. So the big thing that I'm having a little bit of trouble with and needing to get under control with this game, I think I mentioned it before, but is this scaling here. The scale of this game is ginormous. It is a little bit tough to kind of wrap your head around it when you first jump in. But yeah, again, the map for this area, or I'm sorry, just the map in general, if I remember it, is 4 times, I believe it's 4 times bigger than the Planet Series map, especially like the Planet Zoo map there. So when you first jump in, it's just really hard to wrap your head around just how gargantuan this map is and everything, and how much build space you have to work with. So this habitat is a little bit of indicative of that, just because, yeah, it's very big, it's very spread out. And before I kind of realize how big it is, before I go down into guest view and kind of see what the guests can see, because that's what's important, right? Yeah, just kind of realized, oops, this is very large, and the guests kind of can't see everything that I want them to see here. So yeah, that is just kind of a thing to kind of keep in mind if you are building in the game right now, is just the scaling is just huge. You just really got to get used to how ginormous the playability area is, and just, yeah, really how much yeah, you have to kind of mess around with there. So with that being said, the future habitats that I'm starting to build, they're really starting to kind of get in range, or kind of rein in the scale and everything like that. So I think they're starting to turn out a little bit better, and there's better viewing points for our guests. So, and yeah, with that being said, you know, right when I noticed that the guests couldn't see, that's when I started to think that we're going to need a viewing area for the guests that kind of juts into the habitat just a little bit. So yeah, after we make these little sun shaders, I believe we start to, yeah, here we go. We go right into the viewing area here, and this was really fun to mess with, because I started to mess with the modular pathfinding, essentially. So if you don't know, Prehistoric Kingdom has modular pathfinding. I think that's the best way to explain what it is, but essentially unlike other games where the guests are confined to the pathway, and that's all they can do is just kind of hang out on the pathway, PK says, nah, that's all right. They can do whatever they want. And they can walk on modular path things. So these are like little roof pieces or, you know, logs or rocks or anything like that. The guests will recognize it as a path and be able to walk on it. So in other games where this would just be a decorative item that we're building, because this is all just built out of in-game build pieces, just kind of stretched and pulled all over the place, where this would be decorative in other games, the guests actually come up and use this and recognize it as like a viewing area. So they will come over and, sit on it, or, you know, not sit on it, but just kind of stand there and look out and everything like that. So that is, there they go, right there. You can see the guests are actually coming up and using the roof pieces and walking on it, which is, again, like, if you've been playing other games, like, you know, pretty much all the way up until this point, it just kind of takes your entire perception of building and pathfinding tools and just what you can do and just flips it completely on its head, basically. It's been really fun to kind of see people's reactions on stream who are just getting into the game and stuff like that, other content creators, because they'll be sitting there and kind of playing, and then they do this where they'll build a bridge thinking it's implied, and then you just see the reaction. It's like, oh, wait, the guests are using the thing that I built? Get the fuck out of here. It's just like, it's like one of those moments of like, gosh, it is just so satisfying that the thing that I built, you know, like the in-game guests are actually going to use it. It's not just going to be sitting there as like an implied thing that no one actually uses, and way to go, I took a screenshot of it and now I'm done with it. You know, it's like, it actually has some use. It actually, you know, it's more than just a screenshot item. And that's what I love about this game, is that there's just so many things that you don't just sit there and you take a picture of it, then you're done with it. Certain other past titles and stuff like that. This one is, you can take a picture and get a really nice thing with it, but then you still, like, you know, it's still usable. It's like, you still see the guests interacting with the item that you just built and all that kind of fun stuff there. So yeah, it just totally flips it on its head and really just opens up the possibilities of what you can do with the guests. Like, for example, I know that Simply Savannah, it's either out now or going to be coming out. She has a time-lapse coming out of her building a treehouse, essentially. She built some treehouse viewing areas. They're built around a one of the swamp trees in-game, and built a viewing deck around it. And again, you can do that in other games, but in this one, guests will actually be using that and up in the trees and stuff like that. Or there's Leaf. Leaf built a awesome drawbridge, and guests can actually like walk down this adventure trail and use this drawbridge that they built. It's just like, oh, that's so cool. But yeah, the last little bit that we do for this little viewing area here. I saw this, I believe, either on Reddit or on Discord there, where someone took the opaque glass, and it works really, really well for a lot of stuff, especially with the resizability. But yeah, I saw that they took the opaque glass here and did a "Did you know" sign, because they kind of look like little billboards or little signs there. So yeah, I thought that was a really cool idea. So I went ahead and borrowed that there with the "Did you know?" And at this moment when I'm recording, I did not know that you could shrink down the letters and stuff like that even more so than the minimum is that's kind of given to you. So I didn't know that at the time, but I might go back through and actually put in some information about these animals in the "Did you know?" Because again, we can literally make letters as small as like a book or letters on a computer screen. And like, I'm not being like dramatic, like, no, you can literally make them as small as you want. Like, again, I made a keyboard in the game with like proper scaling with letters, because you can get it so low. So anyways, yeah, I might look up some information, or I know, again, we have some amazing dino nerds and that view this, so if you have any general information that you think would go great on a "Did you know" board, let me know and I will go ahead and put it on there, because I think that's really cool to actually put the stuff on there rather than just, you know, the lines are cool. We've been doing that since the Planet Coaster days, where we just kind of put lines to simulate words. But again, if we have the possibility pretty easily to actually write out some stuff, I'm all about it. I am all about it there. So all right, so the last little bit here that we are setting up, I believe it's the last little bit, yeah, it should be, is going to be a little Microraptor, like, field kind of thing. So here's the first use of the Microraptors. I use the crap out of the Microraptor exhibit, just because, you know, it's the only one that we have so far. We're going to get a bunch more later on, of course, but as of right now, we only have the Microraptors, and I love the null capability, or making their aviary invisible there. So, yeah, right across from these little planters, which I love how these planters turned out, the scaling tool, just being able to morph the edges and everything is so awesome. But anyways, yeah, right across from here, we kind of start to make a little Microraptor field there. So this is one of 2 Microraptor exhibits in the park as of right now. So this first one, like I said, is a nice little like Microraptor field, and then we also put a Microraptor aviary up on top of some rocks and stuff like that. And I think it turns out pretty cool looking there. So like I said, that is one of two. The other one is going to be, I believe, in tomorrow's time lapse, where it's a Microraptor cave that leads over to our Lambo exhibit and stuff like that. So yeah, I really like the exhibit aviaries and cages and stuff so far, mainly just because you have the option to turn it invisible, because, you know, why wouldn't you let the player kind of choose what they want to do there. So but yeah, so that is what's coming up there. We're going to start to work on the Microraptor field, but other than that, I believe that is about it. Yeah, that is about it for the time lapse after the Microraptor field and canyon there. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and drop off there. Do enjoy the rest of the episode, not too much longer to go with it. And like I said, we have a bunch more Prehistoric Kingdom action coming your way, whether it's from streams that are 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just about every single day there, or, you know, the time lapses and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, lots of Prehistoric Kingdom action planned out for everyone. So hey, if this is your first time hanging out, don't forget, hit the subscribe button there. Stay up to date with all the fun Prehistoric Kingdom action. Also hit the like button, helps out the video, helps out the channel a whole bunch there. So hey, thanks so much everyone for hanging out, always do appreciate it. And until the next Prehistoric Kingdom video, have a good one.